on the Unhappy Hour, we are going to talk about this. What about the Cleveland Indians legend Jim Thome making the Hall of Fame? What are your thoughts?
I'm happy for him. It's nice to have a Hall of Famer. It really is. I'm happy for Jim. Always a nice guy. I'm very happy for him and his family that he made the Hall of Fame. Although I think it's ridiculous, steroid era or not, for Barry Bonds not to get in is still ridiculous to me.
Sosa is not in. Manny Ramirez is not in.
Manny Ramirez actually was suspended for steroids. There's a difference. It's the era that goes along with the game. If you're going to sit there and judge, we don't know that Jim Thome was clean. That's all I'm getting at. We don't know who was clean and who wasn't. You can't judge people based on that. You might as well just eliminate every single person who played in the 90s because of it.
Jeff Kent, Gary Sheffield, Scott Rowland, Sammy Sosa, not in. Fred McGriff, Larry Walker, Curt Schilling, Barry Bonds, Manny Ramirez, not in. And the other guy...
Doofus. Curt Schilling's a schmuck. I hate him.
I know you do. But he's a heck of a pitcher.
He's an idiot.
Mike Messina, not in. Edgar Martinez, not in. There's a lot of people that did not make it in that were pretty much...
There were a lot of really good players in the 90s, too.
Yeah, there were. There were. And, kind of the disappointing part of this is seeing the percentage of people, how many people voted for who. Omar Vizquel, he only got 37% of the vote, which equated to 156 of the votes. Do you think Omar Vizquel got shafted here, that he should have been in?
The problem is I don't think he'll ever get in, which is a shame. The way the voting process works in Major League Baseball, it makes it very, very tough to ever, most years there's 0 Hall of Famers. Let's think about that for a second. It's not the NFL where there's guaranteed 7, 8 guys going every year.
So it's just too tough to get in.
I don't like the voting process in baseball. It makes it impossible. But I guess it just makes it that much more difficult. But there are plenty of guys you're going to see from the generation that you and I grew up in, Brian, that will not make the Hall of Fame that deserve to be in there. Steroid era or not, it was just the game those days. And it's not. Don't ever let it take away. Whether Barry Bonds makes it or not, whether Barry Bonds is an asshole or not, doesn't make a difference. He was that good of a guy. He was that good of a player. Brian, was it some of the most fun you've ever had watching baseball, checking the radio or going to ESPN.com, for a live look-in to see, or ESPN having a live look-in to see if Barry Bonds is going to hit a 73rd home run or break the record and beat 70? How cool is that?
It was one of the coolest baseball moments ever. They would do the screen screen just to watch every single pitch.
The middle, you'd be watching baseball tonight. You'd want to sit there and stay up till 1 in the morning to watch Barry Bonds hit a home run because you knew he was going to hit one in every other game.
Sammy Sosa and Barry Bonds back and forth was something absolutely incrable to watch.
That was Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire back and forth. And then
that's
Barry
what I meant.
Bonds years later.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say, 98 was Sosa McGwire, and then 01 was Barry Bonds.
Okay, wait a second. Is McGwire, he didn't get in the Hall of Fame, did he? Because he didn't get any votes this year. How are Mike Messina?
Like I said, you're gonna see a bunch of players who deserve to get in, who will never get in. And it's just what's going to happen. Baseball. Some of these writers have taken upon themselves to determine who the good people were in baseball. Who that? Go take a look at. I'm not saying Thome did steroids, but go take a look at him as a rookie, and go take a look at him in his later career. He's twice the size.
An enormous.
All I'm saying is we don't know who did steroids, and we don't know who didn't. That's the problem. And you're sitting there judging a guy on his merit whether he did steroids or not. Anybody who was able to hit 50-something bombs a year, every year, probably did them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Thome did them. However, based on the game and how it was, odds are that some of those players took them. And some people didn't. Some people are clean, but it was just the nature of the game. And they were not illegal at the time. Let's remember that. They were not illegal at the time.
Well, we got
people had no rule against it at the time. People in basketball, are you going to tell me that guys like Brian Bosworth in football and Tony Mandarich weren't taking roids? Football players were doing it too. This was not just a baseball problem.
Is it possible Sean Kemp was that ripped without steroids? That guy was.
That's what I'm saying. Look at guys like Vin Baker. Look at guys like David Boston, who played in the NFL. Starred Ohio State. David Boston got too big for his own good and couldn't catch balls anymore over his head because he couldn't lift his arms up that high.
Well, yeah. The
steroid issue. I'm saying, though. Steroids were prevalent in every sport back in the 90s and early 2000s. It was just the nature of the game. You cannot sit there and go, well, this person probably took roids, so I can't put him in the hall. Put Barry Bonds in because he's the all-time home run leader and the all-time individual home run leader. And even without the steroids, Brian, the guy had like a 550 OBP. He had like a 1.5 OPS, which means every bat, just assume. So a single counts as a 1,000 OPS, okay? If you hit a single, that's 1,000 OPS. Okay. Imagine averaging between a single and double every at-bat when you're up. That's how valuable Barry Bonds was. He was averaging in between a single and a double every at-bat. Even when he got out, that means he would wind up having a double or a triple or a homer, to take on that process. If Barry Bonds went 1 for 4 with a home run, that's an OPS of 1,000. Because a home run counts as 4,000. That's what I'm saying. That's how valuable Barry Bonds was. Whether you like the guy or not, he was one of the best baseball players of all time.
So you think he's the one that's been snubbed that shouldn't have been?
He should be in the Hall of Fame. Whether you like the guy or not, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, and I think there should be a little bit of room to put an asterisk up, to flag him.
You don't know who. Here's the thing: we have no way of knowing if Jim Thome did steroids or not. So why does Jim Thome not get an asterisk? Because we don't know and it's a guess? No. It's either they're in or they're not. The asterisk is stupid.
So Barry Bonds never got busted technically. So no asterisk.
Never actually got busted. We know, Rafael Palmeiro got busted. There's a difference. He got suspended for it after. That's what happened. He got suspended. They're walking such a fine line at this point, and that's what bothers me so much in the whole situation. To think that Barry Bonds, the greatest player of my generation, will never be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's a weird. Well, I guess
growing up,
a generation or two ago, they don't have Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. I mean, maybe every generation gets.
Pete Rose was also betting on baseball. And Pete Rose is a singles hitter anyway.
Yeah, like the most ever.
That's another thing too. Pete Rose wasn't as valuable just because he had 4,000 hits. He was not as valuable as everybody claimed he would be. That was the thing is he was a singles hitter.
Right.
That's what I'm getting at. He was a freaking singles hitter. Wasn't as valuable as everybody made him out to be. He wasn't.
And some people want to talk about.
And he also bet on baseball. There's a difference. Pete Rose is banned from the game entirely. He's not even allowed to be around it.
What about the rest of the guys that got in? Chipper Jones, 97% of the vote. What do you remember about Chipper?
Chipper Jones is a great player in his day. Chipper Jones is a great player in his day. He deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. But are you 100% sure that Chipper Jones didn't take steroids? No. That's all I'm saying.
Steve Freeby in the group.
These guys is
Go ahead.
What?
No, you say yours first.
Look at some of these guys as rookies and look at them 10 years later. They don't even look the same.
Right. No, I'll give you that. Steve Freeby in the group, he said, Pete Rose played defense, though. And he did.
Okay.
He did. And well, the thing, it bugs me with Omar Vizquel. Probably one of the best defensive players.
Vizquel's arguably the greatest defensive shortstop of all time outside of Ozzie Smith. And he might even be in the same. He might be just as good as Ozzie Smith defensively, or better.
I've seen a lot of analytics and different reports and different studies and different surveys and different articles written saying, sorry, Omar Vizquel was actually better than Ozzie Smith statistically. Not just could you do a backflip.
Okay.
Not just did your team win a championship. I think Omar Vizquel only coming in with, what was it, 37%? 37%. I think it's a tragedy. I think it's a travesty. I think it's embarrassing.
It is.
Embarrassing. That guy played a great long career and doesn't get in. I really hope the writers can come around on that one. Yeah, Vladimir.
They won't.
Yeah, I mean, he might not. You're right. Am I hopeful? Would I put $100 on it? No, but I'm gonna say it as many times as I can. Omar Vizquel belongs in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Vladimir Guerrero, that guy was another one that was crushing it. And once again, you would probably say, can you say with 100% certainty that he never took the juice? I don't know. I couldn't say that. And then Trevor Hoffman.
Any one player in the era could have taken third. It was a competitive advantage when everybody was doing it back in the day. When everybody was doing it,
you had to do it just to keep up.
Keep up with the times.
Exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
And I understand that. I get that. I do understand.
I just don't like. You understand where I'm coming from, and that's why I'm so upset.
Well, yeah, I do. And Steve's saying Trevor Hoffman with the laughing, crying emoji. What do you think about Trevor Hoffman? Do you think a reliever should be in the Hall of Fame? Do you think that they?
He was that. Is Mariano Rivera going to get in? Yes. Trevor Hoffman was damn good too.
They were. They kind of like helped reinvent the. I mean, obviously you had the Eckersley. You've had plenty of relief pitchers over the years, but I mean these guys did kind of take it to the next level. They're wondering if Mariano Rivera will be a unanimous ballot, if he'll get 100%.
Nobody's ever been unanimous. Let's remember that. Babe Ruth wasn't a unanimous. Nobody's ever been unanimous. No one.
Well, Steph Curry was a unanimous MVP when we beat him.
Nobody going into the Baseball Hall of Fame has ever been unanimous. We're talking Ty Cobb, Mickey Mantle, Ted Williams, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Roberto Clemente. Not one of those guys. Stan Musial, Bob Gibson, Sandy Koufax. I can keep going if you want me to.
Nobody's ever done it out of the history of ever.
Joe DiMaggio. I mean, again, Joe DiMaggio. None of those guys were unanimous. That's what I'm getting at.
Right.
There's no way Mariano Rivera, a closer, is going to be the first unanimous one in there. Not going to happen. There's too many good names on the ballot. So it just is what it is.
Yeah.
So Brent, I got to get going now. I've got an early morning meeting tomorrow.
Do your thing.
That I got to be up for.
Okay, well then we'll let you get going.
I thought this was my dead time of year, and instead it becomes my busiest month I've ever had with my business. So I don't know.
Well, because that's what life does. You make a plan, and life laughs at you and says, "Oh, that's what you were thinking? Great. Here's all this other stuff." So yeah, I've learned to understand that the best laid intentions, the best laid plans, can seldom be counted on with all the wild cards of life. So,
I expected to have this easy down month this month, and it's the busiest month my company's had since we've been in existence. And running this company and watching it grow has been phenomenal. But, the real estate world, especially in the transactions and buying and selling, for commercial multifamily housing normally doesn't. January is kind of a down month where you just it's a big break month. And, in a couple weeks in San Diego, it's a big party. And then everything heats up again second week of February, but instead it hasn't been the case. So it's been good. It's been a good thing. So,
what is it?
I've just been exhausting.
Yeah. What is it? Make America sell real estate again? Wasn't that the slogan of the president?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so. But it's been. The real estate market's been great for us so far, and lending's at an all-time high. Everything's been going well on my end. So,
stock market too. It's a very positive
as long as
time.
it keeps trending in the right direction, I'll be okay with it.
All right. Well, then I'll let you get going. For everybody who's not following Zak on Twitter, he's at Zbaris. That's ZBARIS. All right, Zak, I will let you run, buddy. Thank you again for joining us. Go Indians, go Cavs,
Brian,
go
I'll
Browns.
follow up with you later this week, and we'll talk about California next week.
All right. Sounds like a plan. I'll talk to you then. Take care.
All right. Take care, bud.
All right. There he goes, everybody. Zak Baris. Steve Freebie in the group, in the Facebook group. By the way, the Facebook group, I'm going to talk to this camera. This is for the YouTube channel when I upload this after the fact. Our Facebook group is private, and it's awesome. You got to do a search in groups for The Unhappy Hour Sports Show. And then in parentheses it says a support group. So join the group. We ask if you're an Indians, Cavs, Browns, or Buckeye fan, then we let you in. But Steve Freebie in this camera, in the Facebook group, he's mentioning Jose Mesa, a.k.a. Joe Table, and Doug Jones. Yes, Doug Jones. A lot of good relief pitchers over the years. and a lot of rock and roll, edge of the seat, fingernail biting, Bob Wickman style closers too. The Indians have kind of had a whole heck of a lot of them. But yeah, the Hall of Fame vote is always interesting. I'm so glad to see Thome get in. He deserves it. He had an incredible career. Kudos. Hats off to him. I just wish they could come around on their senses and bring Omar Vizquel in. That guy was one of the best defensive players you'll ever see moving forward. It would be tough to even match what he did, let alone surpass it. I think that alone. Plus, he almost had 3,000 hits on top of it. He wasn't a schlub on offense either. Very consistent player. Maybe I'm biased, but I was just constantly in awe by how great Omar Vizquel was. So, anyhow, I'm going to sign off for now. We're going to be going and covering the NAM convention, National Association of Music Merchants or Music Manufacturers. I always screw that up. I've done this like 20 times, and I never care. It's just called NAM to me. It's a big music show called NAM. But we'll be down there. Hope you guys all check it out. Really excited to see some new products, go see some famous musicians, maybe some good concerts, and bring you the footage on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, all of the places that we are. So we're going to sign off for now. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk again soon. Peace.